This video is sponsored by Paradox Interactive. As far as I could remember, the North has always called me. The snowy winters, shoveling of snow, coldness in my face, in my nose, in my fingers. Yeah, I don't really like those things. But no, my heart is truly with the North. The creators of my favorite game, Europa Universalis, told me they wanted to pay me to make a Sweden tutorial in their new DLC, Lions of the North. Something clicked in my brain. My middle name is Usama. What does that mean? Well, it means lion. Lions, they sleep 20 hours a day, the most sigma animals in the animal kingdom. The old Habibi would have made the most boring resident sleeper video of all time, probably to tell you to take out monopolies and to go quantity and economic ideas. But I'm not the old Habibi. I'm the new Habibi. This was the video I was meant to make. This video will show you how to become a lion of the North in a map game. If you're a returning viewer, you will know that I don't really do guide content as much. However, I wanted to make this video appealing to both types of audiences, people that are looking for a straight up guide and people that are just here for fun and entertainment. So the video will flow as my normal videos will, but there will be blocks of information in forms of text that will show up for 2 to 5 seconds. And if you do want the information, just simply pause the video, read, and it will be useful information for your Sweden campaign when you play Sweden in the latest patch of EU4. One of the biggest new changes in EU4 is the estates. There's 6 per instead of 4. Ever since last patch, you cannot take all of the monarch points and sell titles, but that's fine. We don't need to sell titles. It's not even that much money, 190 ducats in the grand scheme. What we do need to prioritize though is giving out our religious states for monthly admin points as well as monthly military points. We also are going to go admin focused day 1, and here's the rest of our estate setup sped up. Now, the main thing about Sweden in this new patch is our expansive mission tree. Of course, there's many nations that get new mission trees in this DLC. You have Norway, Denmark, Poland, and Gotland, just to name a few, as well as the Teutonic Order. But the cool thing about this mission tree is that you can use it to get your independence incredibly fast. It's a lot easier now in this patch, in this DLC, to get your independence as Sweden, because we start in the Kalmar Union, the union with Denmark. Right now we are a subject of Denmark. Now this next part, you can do it completely different if you are a newer player or you aren't confident in your skills. We can get bonuses that can help us get our independence through these first 4 missions. The first one, support from the states, we already can do because we're giving we're giving 3 privileges to at least 2 of our states. We're actually giving more than 3 to all 3. And we can do support from the estates. We can get a really cheap mill advisor. We can get 10 galleys that are already starting to be built without any cost. We can get 200 papal influence, or we can get nothing. But we are a lion. We're a lion, chat. We're a lion. So we're gonna say no thank you. Prestige is good enough. I don't need any of your help. The next part is we're going to hire advisors. I'm gonna just get any level 1 advisor is fine on each level at this point of the game. It would be nice to do radical reforms day 1, but I'm not gonna re-roll for it. It's too expensive. Of course, taking a middle advisor will get us our next mission, which is military advice, which gives us a 1441 ruler or leader for our armies, Johan Vasa. Now, if you're a returning EU4 player, you know the power of a 4 shock or a high shock general in the early game. Shock phases are the most important, right? So this general is actually very good. We are now going to try to get someone to support our independence. And here we can see Scotland is down and Lithuania is down. You don't want to select Lithuania. You have to keep in mind that Lithuania is most likely going to get PU'd by Poland through event, and they will get exited out of the war almost immediately. Scotland is good enough. England sometimes is down, but Scotland is okay. We actually don't really need that much. And as a matter of fact, we can get all of Denmark's rivals to join on our side. The thing is though, this is a tutorial on how to be a lion. Hey, you can click this option right here. We need every supporter we can find, which would make every single one of Denmark's rivals join on your side for independence. But we don't need that. We don't need that. We can just select the Danes are no threat. We can win this war on our own, which there you go, all done. And now we just need to do the last part of the mission before we declare our independence, which is making a free company. It has to be a free company specifically. And on top of that, we need to start building our navy, which is going to be a bunch of galleys. We're going to need these galleys very badly in this war. It's very important, actually. One thing that you may notice in your playthrough is looking at Denmark's allies. It's very unlikely, but sometimes you can see Denmark ally England, can ally Poland, can ally Austria. Again, those are unlikely, but sometimes it can happen, and it can happen in your run. Just restart 1444 if he gets some really strong allies. It's not really worth it, and you can just restart. It's the beginning of the game. And now that we have the free company and it's almost time to declare, we can hit this button, which means that we can do the time for independence is at our hand. We're not going to click this first option, but this one giving us more manpower and liberty desire. We are now fully ready to declare war on Denmark, and declare is what we will do. And again, we have declare independence, which will give us stability as well as some claims. If you look at the troop count, we are outnumbered, and our ally Scotland is all the way on an island, so it's very unlikely that he will come help in terms of troops. He might help in terms of navy, which will be nice. Of course, we're also outnumbered when it comes to navy. The strategy here is divide and conquer. Immediately, Denmark is running at us. Of course, he's not going to get any malices for this battle because it is his fort. But since we do have that foreshock, this battle is actually going to be pretty good for us. We don't want the Norwegian troops to connect with the Danish troops. It's very important actually for this war that they don't connect, and then take on the Norwegians, which we actually stack wiped. What? And already we have more troops. We're already winning this war. Our galleys are finishing, which means that we can soon on take on this Danish navy. We do have to keep an eye for the 3 heavy ships that Norway starts with. Taking on 1 boat, taking on 3 boats, and now taking on the Danish navy. I think we just saw the Norwegian navy somewhere. Okay, if the Norwegians come, we have to retreat. Again, same thing. And while this battle is going on, we're also going to take the land battle. Here, we're going to actually wait for the better general. I'm going to stick this navy battle just to stack wipe the Danes. We might lose some galleys here. Yeah, we're losing a couple, but we just need to stack wipe the Danish. Done. Danes stack wiped. We can now retreat. But with the big stack wipe, that means that we can actually cross. And we have now sieged the Danish capital. We are also sinking not only the Danish navy, but the Norwegian navy as well. We can now use this opportunity to stack wipe the rest of the Danish army. We'll wait until we get the siege. Okay, now that they're stack wipeable, we will go. And there you go, the Danish army is now completely stack wiped. Let's see if we can get our peace deal for grant independence. These 4 provinces, max money, war reps, and maybe this island as well. Yeah, he's down. So we can just do that. And we are good to go. And that gives us our new claims. And we get a choice of keeping our ruler or making our general a ruler, the Vasa guy, Johan Vasa. Unless you get really lucky, this is always the better choice. We do have 10 loans at 600 debt, which may seem daunting for a nation of our size, but in the grand scheme, it's not going to be that big of a deal. We're going to reduce our war exhaustion once, and then we are going to core all. If you notice, we're not deleting our army. We're going to make Denmark. Oh my god. We're going to make new rivals, and you can see that we have a bigger army than all of our neighbors. We're going to make new rivals for this. We're going to pay off our 4% loans over our 1% loans that are going to refresh. And we are going to continue our warpath because we actually have a bit of ways to go before we delete our free company and start doing some peaceful stuff. But we're going to wait for these boats to repair for our next move. And our boats are fully repaired. And this is actually rather unlucky. Gotland, who, by the way, always becomes a pirate republic now, I've noticed in this DLC and patch. Gotland has joined a trade league, which is very unlucky because now we have to take on all of these little guys if we want to fight them. Of course, we have a core on Gotland, and not only that, we do want to fight them as soon as possible, or they're going to raid us basically on cooldown. But with this newly big navy that we got and the stolen ships from our war against Denmark, I think we can take it on. So we are going to declare war on them, even though we are going to be decking on 6 nations at the same time. We'll go immediately for the siege and go right away to get on the island. It's not important that we win navally here because they're probably going to have somewhere around 40 to 50 boats. Yeah, they do. A lot of them are trade boats, which is lucky for us, but we just need to land, which they will land 18th of December. Come on, you guys got this, you guys got this, you guys got this, you got this, you got this, you got this. Come on, boys. Okay, we landed. We're good. Percent. We just gotta go. We can't wait. Gotta go, gotta go. We're winning the battle. We're actually winning the battle very hard. Will we make the stack wipe? We are! And that's the League's army stack wipe. By simply blockading and just starting the siege, we can get war reps from all of these miners. Now Gotland is willing to peace out. We're just gonna peace them out. Collecting all those war reparations could be worth it. We're gaining like 2.3 ducats from war rep. This gives us access to our next mission, Swedish Scandinavian. I don't think I'm pronouncing that right. But this gives us access to this mission, and this mission is going to give us 2 options. We can convert everyone to Swedish. We lose a stability. They lose 10 years of separatism, autonomy. It does make Denmark our historical rival, but that's fine. They're already rivaling us. And 16 will revolt in Skan. I'm going to select this option simply because we will lose 100 autonomy in all of these lands, giving us full access to them immediately. Very good. We still aren't a lion right now. We're more of like a baby cub, making a positive balance for the first time in the game, and we only have 300 ducats of debt. On the right path. Our next war is going to be against Novgorod. We're going to declare for Neva. One issue we have is Renaissance grows pretty slowly here. I am behind in dip tech, but I am going to spend my dip points here on this province. We did have the development edict just so we have somewhere where it's growing and we can get the Renaissance a bit faster. Having 20 infantry combat ability right in the beginning is actually so powerful. We're able to just beat all of our early game opponents. Oh, you lion of the north. Oh wait, we're still a cub. Oh, you cub of the north. That will be a lion someday. I'm thinking that if this whole YouTube, Twitch thing doesn't work out, I'll just become a singer. What do you guys think? So it turns out, even in single player, I'm a ganker because Muscovy just declared war on Novgorod, and we're now 2v1ing the AI.
Flashback.
Yo, what's up guys, it's me, Absolute Papega, and here I am ganking more players because I think I am good and have egotistical problems. What is up?
That is the Novgorod war done. Very, very nice. On the plus side, the institution's finally growing in Skane very, very fast. Time to continue our wars. We're going to now declare war on Narwa. Do the blockade immediately. We're going to need an admiral. Pretty nice admiral. Seems the Teutons are a bit busy fighting Catholic zealots. Wait a second. Another cool thing about this DLC is that you still get the Swedish events as part of Sweden. Look at this. Amazing. We white pieced Riga here because we're going to declare war on them later. And we're just finishing up our war against the Livonian Order. But we're also going to want to white piece the Teutonic Order. We do have to watch AE because remember when we clicked this mission in Swedish Scanland that we got a CB on Denmark for claiming the Norwegian crown. But it does expire in 1472, something to remember. And while our war with Livonian Order is going on, we can actually complete our next mission. We need to get these 2 provinces, Notburg and Novgorod. We need to put on centralization effort on both, which should give us access to our next mission, which will give us Novgorodian as an accepted culture. And also convert them to Catholic. Also giving us a center of trade. Keep in mind with these new center of trade missions, the max increase is by 2. So upgrading them to 2 and then clicking the mission will pretty much do nothing. But that does give us new claims all the way to Moscow. Insane. And these are permanent claims, so we don't need to push them right away. And now we white peace the Teutons, the Rootin' Teutons. And now we can peace out our boy here. And what we're actually going to do here is we're going to release 2 vassals. We're going to release Latagalia, which is a new releasable, also Karelia. Pretty cool. Latagalia, we're going to release them. And we're going to also release Estonia. We're going to also give Latagalia province, grant province. And we're going to give Estonia province as well. This also will allow us to get strong duchies, which we will take immediately. And we will enable divert trade, enable this embargo rival. We are doing a little bit of development here just so we can get above 10 crownlands, just so our autonomy can tick down a little bit. And we are going to also decrease autonomy in a lot of our land. And although we're trying to become a lion right now, and we're still not a lion, we're still not that strong. Here's player map mode so you can see what we control. We are going to do a couple defensive alliances to basically make it so that AI doesn't declare war on us and we don't get into wars that will slow us down or stop us from building up a really strong Sweden. Poland on its own should really stop any AI from declaring war on us, like Muscovy or Denmark. Oh, by the way, our truce expired with Denmark. Speaking of Denmark, anyways, we're about to weaken Denmark right now. And we are basically continuing off of our demands. And even though our CB with Denmark lasts longer than the truce did, I declared war off of truce, and I recommend you do the same. We have basically been going through war after war after war ever since our independence. And even though we've been doing that, our manpower is still not fully drained. We do have to be careful in this war, because I would prefer not to lose all my manpower, and I'd also prefer to not get a mercenary stack. Right now we are making a balanced income while we're fighting, and I want to keep it that way. And because we have naval superiority, we can basically divide and conquer once again. While our vassals in Scotland are sieging down Denmark, we're stack wiping their entire army here in Estonia. Very easily, without using all our manpower even, we are winning the war against Denmark. And even while we're in war, I am building some buildings, starting with churches. Right now I'm building all of the ones over 0.16. I've already got 2 of them down, got 1 more left. This is while I still have some debt, just to get the buildings out, and then we'll pay off some of the debt. It's okay to, a lot of players, they prioritize paying off debt immediately over building buildings, but sometimes when you have those high value buildings, they're worth building before you pay off the debt. And at 84 war score, the Danes are willing to accept peace for the Norwegian crown, max money, and war reparations. Although we do get a mission fulfilled immediately, I'm going to wait until we have 50 relations from improving relations on Norway, so we can get the initial bonus from this mission, which will increase our historical friendship. And now we're at 50 relations. We're going to click the mission. Being historical friends actually gives minus 50 liberty desire with Norway. There's no way this PU will be disloyal now. Here I decided to do a little bit more development so we can reach 15 crownland, so we can sell titles and then seize land. And I chose to develop Dalskagen, even though this bonus is a flat modifier, does not get affected by dev. It's still one of the cheaper provinces with a really good trade good, copper, that we can develop. And now that we have a PU on Norway, we got an event that basically gives us 2 options. One, we can sell this one province for 200 ducats and some relations with Scotland, or we can get permanent claims on 2 of Scotland's states and reduce relations with Scotland. I think you guys already know which one we're going to be picking. Of course, the claims are for Norway themselves. My next move is to build 3 light ships. We do have a mission that will give us colonial range and a colonist and an explorer if we have 3 light ships and we put them in a specific province, which we will do later. But in the meanwhile, we'll get ready for our next war, which is against Riga. They are in a trade league, but that is to be expected. They always join a trade league, and that's why we white pieced earlier.
You can also see the new government reforms. Now at level 2, you can get yearly army professionalism and army tradition, which of course I took. At level 3, we still took centralization effort, which is the same I would normally take in the previous patch. However, it gives additional bonuses than it did previously. Since changing reforms only costs 50 reform progress, later on when we are not dealing with autonomy problems, we will switch this reform. Once again, we're farming the trade league for war reps. And hey, they make more money now. Something you could also use this for is making them remove rivals. This gives you prestige. However, you would have to fully siege them down instead of just sieging them like this, getting the war reps and piecing out. Now we can get Riga. Again, no coalition against us. We're going to take it for ourselves. And we are very close to paying off our debt. Yes, we are done with paying off our debt. The first thing I'm going to do now that we've paid off our debt is once again take burgher loans. And we're going to use these burgher loans to embrace the institution. Yeah, I feel fine embracing here. Taking tech, taking another tech, and also we have 2 missions we can pop here. I'm pretty sure 3 actually. We got this one, which will increase Riga. Again, these missions are locked on trade 2, so they don't give you anything if you already upgrade this trade center, just the FYI. But we are going to click this mission, and we are also going to do Stabilize the Kingdom mission. Popping the Stabilize the Kingdom gives us the Crown of Poland mission, which has 3 options. The first, if we can get a Vasa on the throne of Poland, we can get a restoration of the Union CB on Poland. If we do the second option, we get permanent claims on Poland area. And if we get 15 provinces, we get admin power and autonomy in years of separatism. And then the third option is coexistence, which if we become allies with Poland, get a certain amount of relations, we can get 100 dip points and 400 splendor. Since this is single player and Poland did choose the option for the elective monarchy because he got the PU on Lithuania, I think the best option is becoming the King of Poland. Of course, we need to now royal marry Poland and promote our heir through the support heir interaction, which we will do right now. And now let's try to support our heir. We've also now become a great power, the 5th great power in 1473. And let us continue. Let us support the heir of Poland. And of course, with Tech 6, that gives us access to our workshops. And right away, we have 2 insane workshops in Dalskagen and Skane. I've disinherited twice and also rejected 2 events for king. This is insanely lucky for an heir. And of course, we're going to keep him. With those 3 light ships that we built earlier, we can put them in the province of Burgundius and pop our colonial ambition mission, giving us colonial range for 25 years, a explorer, and a colonist and global settler increase for 75 years, as well as a bunch of claims in Canada and North America. The natural progression here would be to attack the Teutonic Order next, since they are in the Baltic Sea trade node and they have a bunch of trade centers. However, it is very common in this new patch for the Teutonic Order to join the HRE due to a new mission that they have. In your run, you can try to rush down the Teutonic Order before they join the HRE, but I never was able to do so. So what's the play? Well, when we're ready, we are going to try to dismantle the Holy Roman Empire. For now, while we're still gaining strength and enough strength to dismantle the HRE, which is going to be a hard task, we did take Memel from the Teutonic Order since it is a natural estuary to increase our trade power in the Baltic Sea just for now. And while we're waiting for our truce here, we're going to declare war on Scotland. Immediately I found the Scottish army on these islands over here, which we can blockade right away. Make this war cost us no manpower by simply just sieging and blockading. And peace out. If you notice, I did take 1 province for ourselves so we can get better colonial range to the New World. And finally, we can start settling the New World, starting in Canada. And now we're ready for our next war, which is going to be against the Russians. And let's go, Rezaev. Luckily for us, since we got the 2 forts from Novgorod, we can go straight to the capital of the Muscovites. The Muscovites are no joke. They actually have so many troops. But 20 infantry combat ability is 20 infantry combat ability. And we were able now to finish the war. War reps, max money, as well as basically a snake into Moscow. And boom, we grow larger.
China will grow larger.
We have gone from being the cub of the north to being whatever you call a teenage lion. What is the word for that? We're a sub-adult lion. We're 20 months old, sub-adult male. There we go. That's where we are right now. We still got a long way to go to be this guy. And a very long way to go to be this guy. But one day we'll be this guy. This is no longer a Sweden EU4 video. This is now a lion video. We're gonna look at lions. Wow, so majestic. Why you always lion.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Anyways, let's pay off our debt now. Actually pay off debt. We're gonna also do the increase our income, which is gonna give us economical upswing as well in all of our nation, as well as in 2 provinces? No, 2 states. Ostras-Wieland and Vastras-Wieland. We weakened the Muscovites so much, Poland declared war on them. It's pretty nice. You know, more land for Poland, the better for us. Right now we're at 8% chance to get a Vasa on his throne. There's still a bit away, but over time, we'll build a basis. And again, we're at our tier 4 reform of state and religion. We're gonna go with the curtail clerical privileges, giving us -10 admin tech cost. With our next sale of titles, we're gonna build more buildings and specifically more farm estates. Trying to get to 10. Accepted Muscovite culture, which gives us our next mission, the city of the Rus, which gives us more max promoted cultures as well as more prestige, which is very good for what we want. Our next steps are going to be to attack Denmark again, which we're about to do right now, and also to dismantle the HRE. We took out burger loans again, and we're right now up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 farm estates. Once again, we have defeated the Danes. It's 1501. We're at 56 ducat income. We have 3 more farm estates on the way, so that's going to go a little bit higher. We have 2 completed idea groups, and we're doing good on tech. So far, things are looking pretty good. And another cell title. We're now going to go up to 7, 8, 9. Still need 1 more. With our next sale of title, we're going to take that just like this. We're going to embrace institution like that. We're going to hit start golden era button. We're going to take these 2 techs. We also can do a very big mill dev cycle, which is exactly what we're going to do here. Build the last farm estate that we need. Just like that. And prepare for our next phase, which is going to be war. We're going to wait 1 more month tick. Turn off our drilling. And now we're going to dismantle the HRE. We need to ally all electors that aren't allied to Austria or Pieve Austria. So basically we need to ally all the electors that aren't Brandenburg and Bohemia. We already allied Mainz and Saxony, but now we have an issue where Trier has both Palatinate and Cologne as his enemy. So it's going to be very hard to get this to work, but if we remove this and we ally Trier, both these guys don't want to ally. This guy wants to ally though. Palatinate wants to ally. Now we go to this guy. It's close. We can proclaim guarantee. Still not there yet. Yeah, still 49 out of 50 and wasting of prestige. We can make him transfer trade power. Transferring trade power does give relations, so we can do that. That should make it over, and there we go. Now Cologne is willing to be our ally. Ally done, and now we can see we now need to siege Vienne, capital of Bohemia, and the capital of Brandenburg to dismantle the HRE. And now we dismantle the HRE. Goodbye, HRE. And with that, we can also start piecing out people. This guy's down to peace. Give me some money. Thank you. Next guy, Brandenburg, down to peace. Give me some money. Thank you. We are going to take Tech 10 a lot earlier here. And our next idea is going to be influence ideas. And we're now ready for our next peace deal. Boom, like that. That will give us this, which I'm not going to do until... Actually, wait, no, Memel is already a core. Yeah, just do that. All done, all set. And you remember how we were building farm estates? You probably thought that was crazy. Well, as you can see right now, we're actually about to trigger a disaster, the Dak War. However, in this mission right here, if we have 10 manufactories on either grain, livestock, or fish, which includes farm estates, and we also have 10 development on at least 10 grain, livestock, or fish provinces, as well as 2 stability, we can stop the Dak War from triggering. And not only that, we get a permanent modifier on grain, fish, or livestock of 33 goods produced on those provinces. And now look at our claims, and there's no HRE. In terms of GP, we are right now the 3rd strongest GP. We're going to take a quick break from doing our missions or completing our ideas here, and we're going to spend dip right here. We need just a little bit more dip. There we go. 10 dip. We can sell titles here, sell the titles, and oh, look at this, we can click the peasants agenda, which stops the Dak War from being able to trigger, giving us also a bunch of modifiers, goods produced modifiers on our grain provinces, which hasn't showed up yet. And then we can also do the investment of Falun from Stora Kopparberget. I'm mispronouncing it so hard. I'm sorry, Paradox. I'm sorry, Swedish people. And we can now expand the mine, which will increase the wonder here, because this is now wonder. We can expand it for 1,500 ducats. We can also do these 2 other options, but no, we're gonna full on expand this. Boom. That's 2 more goods produced here. That's 2 manufactories here. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Still only 1% loans. But oh my goodness. The next thing is we need to start now saving up money. We have 2 big manufactories coming up. We have weapon manufactories and textile manufactories. Well, actually, it's just weapons manufactories that we need to save up for, because we have 4 provinces right here that we can get manufactories on immediately, boosting our income. We're right now at a solid 81 ducat income as Sweden. Pretty freaking good. The next phase of our campaign was a period of pure expansion. Now that the HRE was gone, we could care a little bit less about the aggressive expansion and expand rapidly. We were able to upgrade some trade centers here, and now we have 27% control of Lubeck, while also controlling 90% of the Baltic Sea. And in 1522, we are now the #1 GP. Of course, institution makes us a little bit skewed because both Ottomans and Ming both have more development, but we are the #1 GP in the world. Let me look at this Ottomans. Pretty freaking big, actually. Just like Sun Tzu says, 20 infantry combat ability is 20 infantry combat ability. And now we're going to continue warring, this time against... Once again, we have another mission to do with ship trading power. I'm going to click that now. And then we have another one, construct trading posts, which again, we're going to click now. Let's increase our trade power as well as trade efficiency. And we're now at 127 ducat income. We can also decrease our inflation a couple times here because we're ahead in admin tech. Once again, we find ourselves at war, going for that German coastline. These wars are now getting pretty easy. I'm getting super aggressive now, but we can afford to do this. Not only is our army the biggest in the game already, but we have so many allies due to our immense amount of relations. And that gets us the German coastline mission, gives us core cost. And our next mission, as well as trade power and the Lubeck node, very close to getting this mission, Storm Castidon. And now that we got tech 11, we got a couple menus we gotta build. This guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy here. But you know, we just gotta dev him a little bit. Just a little bit of dev. Make sure we have burger loyalty. Yes, we do. And this guy. We do need to we can get this next mission, industrialization. We need at least 5 productivity in all of these provinces, as well as a workshop. Workshop done. Manufactories done. And finally, even though this gives so much AE, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We can continue on this mission path. This will be the religious question, but I think here we're actually going to go in the Reformation path, because, you know, hey, we reformed. We can do the Universities of Sweden, which is giving us admin power, Innogain, and then a university in Stockholm and Skane. You can click immediately. We also got Great Power of the North, which gives us power projection. And now we can click on this mission, Dominium Mars Baltic. So Baltic Sea, more like the Swedish lake. Look at that, so beautiful. That's going to give us another permanent 5 years of separatism. And now with Norway integrated, we can now become an empire. And on top of that, we can boom, boom, boom. Go into here. We can now do this mission right here, Stormskadiden. I'm sorry, guys. Stormaskadiden. Okay, I give up. And that gives us long live the Swedish Empire, a Scandinavian empire, which will give us yearly legitimacy, max absolutism, and also the forming of Scandinavia no longer needs admin tech 20. I think that's pretty crap. Isn't Scandinavia one of the worst formables? Well, actually, ever since 1.32, Scandinavia wasn't as bad as a formable because you still got your events as Sweden or whoever you formed them as. But in this patch, Scandinavia is an amazing S-tier formable with new ideas and an expanded mission. As you can see here, we still have some missions that we haven't completed, yada yada yada. That's fine, because we form Scandinavia. We'll look at the ideas in a second. When we form Scandinavia, we still have our Swedish missions, but we also now have an expanded missions specifically for Scandinavia, which has Danish things, Norwegian things, Scandinavian things. We will go over that again in more detail in a second. But now look at the crazy S-tier ideas that Scandinavia has now. 5 discipline, 15 goods produced, 20 national manpower when it's all finished off, which you should by the time you form it. Construction cost -5. Global possible buildings of 1. Every single province has 1 more building slot in it. Insane. 5 admin efficiency, again insane. Possible policies, nice. Trade efficiency +10, ship durability +5, morale of navies +20%, cav cost -15, cav fire 0.5. Our cav is insane now. 20 ICA, yearly absolutism, and max absolutism. Absolutely amazing ideas. And now we can get more claims through here. We can get prestige as well as more power points here. We can now also do the Burgers Privilege Mountains expansion. If we go into here, where is it? Mountain expansion. Reduce the development cost penalty on mountain, highland, and hills by 50%! Oh my lord! And now we can also do something that I've been wanting to do this entire campaign. We do need to upgrade this guy twice. Just like that. Pretty expensive. But we do need 694 mil power.
And this mission, I'm pretty sure this is it. It's cost us 694 mil powers. You're gonna be like, Habibi, that's a lot of mil. But hey, we're 11 years ahead. We're actually doing so good this game in mana production. Part of that has been RNG with rulers. Some of you guys might not get the same RNG. You might even get better though. And this will give us the atonement system of Scandinavia, which lets us recruit Carolean units. It also gives us a reform that gives us manpower and accepted cultures, manpower and culture group provinces, but just insane amount of manpower. Now we have the Carolean Infantry, which are infantry that they're a special unit type, and part of the reason why we also went offensive ideas is because offensive ideas now has special unit force limit. Great if you're also Ottomans. But these guys have 10 morale damage and regiment drill loss. Pretty freaking good. Pretty freaking good. And we can get a bunch of them with offensive ideas. And they don't cost extra. Oh man, I'm in love with this Scandinavia color too. This color is just really nice. We have finally become the Lion of the North. But this video is not done yet. We still have a couple missions that I would like to show you guys. We are going to integrate the Sami, which actually gives us a lot of manpower dev, which is very nice. To get this one, we do need to get every woods province and forest province above 6 dev, but if we do complete it, we get minus 40 dev costs in every Arctic province. And since we removed the HRE, of course, there's a whole LARP side of the mission tree. Many of you might actually enjoy not just getting rid of the HRE like I did, but you know, I think it's like the best play, whatever that means. And we are going to click on this one, and then if you see here, we just need Holy Sacrament, Saints Accept Prayers, or Parishments, which we can do. Holy Sacraments. So we can do that one, and then we can now get more modifiers and more mill for our ruler. Probably should have waited until this guy took the throne, honestly. I'm just wasting points here. But then we can go over here. This one we will wait. But at 1534, 150 ducat income, 143 max manpower. As a matter of fact, when you guys play the DLC, I almost guarantee you that your run could be way better than mine. And now we can industrialize Sweden, giving us 5 discipline and a bunch of money. And now we are able to monopolize the Baltic, another mission, which can make the price of copper go up. Sweden is not OP, guys. Dudes, I think we just increased the price of copper. The money is nice. This one, we don't do. We definitely don't do this. This one seems like the best option, but 150%. What does that mean? Oh! Yeah! Yeah! Oh, but that's everywhere. That's everywhere. Copper is this expensive. Oh my god. But oh my god, that's pretty high value copper. Our balance is amazing. Just nice. Scandinavia right now is my favorite formable at the time of making this video. I guess it's time to update the tier list, huh? Another cool part of the Scandinavian mission tree is there's an entire path of being the emperor. So there's definitely a lot of potential for a Catholic Swedish run where you form Scandinavia and become the emperor of the HRE and then form the HRE. If you see here in these Scandinavian missions, there are a bunch of missions here that give imperial authority and authority modifiers. But in this game, I wanted to go Protestant, I wanted to go historical Sweden. I actually was getting very close to getting my heir on the Polish throne, but then he made me his rival. So I just need to quickly declare war on this guy. I still have a bit of a coalition, but it's nothing that we can't handle. And that was one of the quickest wars I've ever fought. Did you know 20 infantry combat ability is 20 infantry combat ability? And finally, after years of them hating me, the Polish want to ally me, and that's good. That's good because of the equation. If you remember the equation from earlier. The equation, guys. You gotta remember the equation. The equations matter. Where's my Excel sheet? I feel like this is probably one of the worst guides of all time.
We're casually at 200 income right now. Pretty freaking nice. Oh man, I feel it coming. It's coming. Oh, 10 nobles support the Scandinavian candidate. The odds are going up. And we can now do the Finno-Swedish relations. We could have done this earlier, but I kind of wasn't focusing on it. We basically had to get a bunch of provinces past 10 development while making this specific province Neeland. I've been really focusing the last couple years on building up. And while we're subjugating the Muscovites, we can access another mission. This one required us to build barracks on Finnish land. And we get access to the Hapikalita, which we have to wait the month tick for. There we go. Hapikalita cavalry. Pretty good. They're actually not that expensive too. Minus 75% cost. Only cav. They have full cav ratio so they don't get messed up. Plus 1 cav shock. That's pretty nice. Especially considering our cav also get plus 0.5 cav fire. Gotta use those guys. And finally, we're so close. And this guy is actually coming of age. And it's the Scandinavian heir. He's the most likely to become the king. And the king of Poland is 62. Any moment now, chat. Finally, I was able to remove something from the nobility. And now we can check out these Carolean units. We can give our Caroleans 15 more shock damage. So it only affects the special units. Or we can make them minus 20 shock morale damage received. I'm going to do this one. Or the shock damages. Both of these are pretty nice. You know. Because now our Caroleans have... Not only do the Carolean infantry take less morale, they also, or do more morale damage, they also take less morale damage. And there we have it. The Polish crown will be ours! But basically, yeah, there you go. That's how you get the PUCB on him. You need to use the mechanic. You need to use the promote mechanic to get a guy of your dynasty on there. Which is what we did. I could have done this earlier. If I was actually playing better, we could have done this better. And I expect you to do better and get PU on Poland in the first 15 years of the game. I don't know if you can get it in the first 15 years of the game, but you can get it pretty fast if you know what you're doing. If you are stacking dip rep, you ally Poland, royal marry Poland, improve relations with Poland, and then promote your heir. Restoration of the Union CB on Poland. You can dissolve this alliance. And now we can get the 2, 3. Now we have 4 companies. Okay, wait for the month tick. Completing the Finnish branch of our Swedish missions. We now have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 cav armies that have 100% cav ratio. Some with +1. Oh my god. Oh, it's only 4, but still, that's insane. That's insane. This is insane. All of these mercs are insane and they don't cost army professionalism. And I forgot to enable this, but we also have forest expansion, which reduces the dev reduction of every owned forest and woods province. Dude, this nation is so nice. This nation might be a little too strong, but it's so nice. And finally, we declared war on Poland for restoration of the Union, which also means that if we got on Poland, we would also get it on Lithuania. Can't forget about Scandinavian Guinea, because I did do that at some point. And after years of supporting the heir on the Polish throne, we finally could make Poland a PU. And not only were they a PU, Lithuania was a PU, and Muscovy was our vassal. Keep in mind of the date of the year. This isn't even 1600. This is even 1570. I love this nation. I love this mission tree. I love what Paradox is doing. I love the quality of life stuff they've put into this game. Thank you, Paradox. Thank you. And there's one last thing we need to do to round off this campaign. And that's to attack the Ottomans. Look at this Scandinavian quality. I only have offensive ideas. And honestly, this was one of the games with the highest amount of stack wipes I've ever had. 20 infantry combatability is 20 infantry combatability. 0.5 cav fire is 0.5 cav fire. Well, at this point, we're just so powerful. There's not really much left for me to show you guys. Of course, there are still a couple missions. We did complete the original Swedish missions, but for the Scandinavian missions, well, even Swedish, there's missions for Africa, the global trade power for 50 years. From this point, it's 1572. We're on track to getting a 300 ducat income. We are on track to get 300 max manpower. We already have 300,000 troops. You could truly world conquest from this position. We have insane years of separatism. We have an insane amount of units and modifiers. Oh yeah, there's also one mission that we didn't do where once its Age of the Reformation's over, we also need more Protestants as well. But once it's Age of Absolutism, we can get global manpower from True Faith provinces as well as imperial growth. One thing that I did notice though from the Scandinavian tree and the Swedish tree is if we go down the Catholic path, we do have a clear path to become the Holy Roman Emperor and a clear path to reform the Holy Roman Empire. A lot of imperial growth, a lot of imperial authority, flat modifiers as well as growth modifiers. So that could be interesting for a campaign. But overall, Sweden is very strong, very overpowered. It could be fun for multiplayer as well. And I think that's it. That's it for this video. That's it for this campaign. I don't think I'll be continuing this campaign. Maybe we will do another Sweden run, maybe a Sweden World Conquest. But instead, we will do it on very hard difficulty and maybe with some limitations like no merc companies, no taking loans, stuff like that, stuff to make the game more hard and more interesting. But I hope you guys learned something in this video. I hope you enjoyed this video more than anything. And again, thank you Paradox for sponsoring this video. And if you are going to buy the DLC, use my link. Link is in the description as well as in the pinned comment. This will directly support me. And that's all I have for you guys. Thank you for watching. Goodbye. Peace. Bye bye guys. See you in the next video. It's coming soon. Kappa.